2 minutes ago, Donald Trump absolutely lost it behind closed doors. The reason? Canada just tore up a $19 billion US fighter jet deal, one of the largest defense agreements between the two countries in modern history. And this is no small misunderstanding or delay. This is deliberate, strategic, and cold. Trump's tariffs on Canadian goods have triggered a massive backlash, and Prime Minister Trudeau, along with former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney, is now leading the charge to hit back hard and cancelling the jet deal. That's just the beginning. What we're witnessing is a shocking shift in U.S.-Canada relations that could shake the global economy and rewrite how America does business abroad. Before we dive into why this retaliation is so devastating and what it means for America's future, make sure to subscribe, tap the bell, and like this video so you don't miss the truth behind the headlines. Let's be clear, a $19 billion military deal doesn't get cancelled overnight without serious consequences. For years, Canada had been planning to purchase advanced fighter jets from the US, a key part of upgrading its military fleet and deepening defense cooperation with its southern neighbor. The F-35 jets were supposed to reinforce the long-standing North American security alliance. But after Trump imposed steep tariffs on Canadian aluminum, lumber, and agricultural goods, Canada didn't just push back with words, they pulled the plug. This wasn't about hardware. It was about power. Canada wanted to show that it would not be bullied economically or politically. And when Trudeau officially announced the cancellation, it sent a shockwave through Washington. Not just because of the money, but because it revealed something far more dangerous for the US, that even its closest allies are no longer afraid to walk away. While most of the media focused on Trudeau, the real mastermind behind this response might be Mark Carney, the former governor of both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England. Carney has emerged as a central figure in Canada's economic strategy, and he's making it clear, retaliation will be sophisticated, calculated, and global in impact. Carney's message is simple: Canada won't fight back with rage, it'll fight with reason. By weaponizing trade, investment, and currency policy, he aims to show Trump that America's economic threats are outdated in a world of interdependence. Under Carney's guidance, Canada is now negotiating massive deals with Europe and Asia, strengthening ties with BRICS countries, and even accelerating the shift away from the US dollar in bilateral trade. This isn't just about tariffs, it's about reshaping the playing field. And for Trump, that's infuriating. According to several leaks from White House aides, Trump was furious when he heard the news. He reportedly screamed that Trudeau was betraying America, and accused Carney of trying to sabotage the US economy. For a president who prides himself on deal-making, the idea that Canada, a peaceful, diplomatic neighbor, would pull a move like this. It hit his ego like a freight train. Some aides tried to calm him down, suggesting that Canada would eventually come back to the table. But others warned that this might just be the beginning of a broader trend, US allies growing tired of being economically strong-armed. And if even Canada, one of the friendliest allies in NATO, is ready to step away from the US, who's next? One of the smartest moves Carney and Trudeau made was not to isolate Canada in protest, but to quickly build new bridges. While the US is caught up in election year politics and tariff battles, Canada has been quietly signing new trade agreements. Deals with the European Union, South Korea, and Australia have already been expanded. And even more importantly, Canada has entered deep talks with China and India, two of the largest global markets, to form partnerships that bypass US channels entirely. In fact, Canada is working closely with the BRICS alliance to explore alternative payment systems and long-term commodity contracts. These deals are structured to protect Canadian exports, especially in agriculture, energy, and technology, against future US tariffs. It's a long game, and Canada is playing it well. Some people might wonder, why cancel a military deal that benefits both countries? Wouldn't that hurt Canada too? The answer is strategic. This cancellation was a calculated risk. Yes, Canada will face some short-term military capability gaps, but it sends a loud and clear message to Trump: Canada will not be used as a pawn. By backing out of the F-35 agreement, Canada gains leverage. It shows that economic respect must be mutual, and that even defense cooperation has limits when trade relationships are abused. Already, Canada is looking at alternative suppliers for defense equipment, including European and even South Korean firms. And make no mistake, this decision has already triggered interest from other nations watching how the US handles allies under Trump's leadership. While Trump continues to push tariffs as a way to protect American jobs, the actual results are mixed, and sometimes downright damaging. The Canadian retaliation has already led to higher prices for key raw materials in U.S. manufacturing, especially in industries like automotive, construction, and aerospace. Farmers are also feeling the heat. Canada was a major buyer of U.S. corn and soybeans, and the new economic friction has slowed those exports dramatically. Some economists estimate that America could lose billions in trade revenue just from this one fallout. Worse, it sets a precedent. If other allies like Germany, Japan, or South Korea begin following Canada's lead, the U.S. economy could face a much deeper storm than anyone expected. What makes Carney so dangerous to Trump isn't just his calm demeanor, it's his credibility. Carney is highly respected across financial institutions worldwide. He's worked with the IMF, G7, and central banks around the globe. So when he speaks, people listen. And right now, he's advocating for a multipolar economic system where the US isn't the only player with power. That idea terrifies Trump. A world where the US dollar is no longer the only currency for oil or major commodities. Where countries trade using local currencies or digital systems that bypass American banks. That's not just an economic threat, it's a political earthquake. Carney isn't just pushing theories. He's working with global partners to make it happen. Perhaps the most serious consequence of this entire saga is the erosion of trust. For decades, America built its strength on relationships, economic, military, and diplomatic. But under Trump's tariff-heavy, nationalist approach, many of those relationships are cracking. Allies no longer feel like partners. They feel like targets. Canada, of all nations, had always stood by the US in wars, trade negotiations, and global conflicts. But even they've reached a breaking point. If trust can collapse between Washington and Ottawa, then the entire post-World War II alliance structure may be in question. NATO, G7, and even trade frameworks like the USMCA could be weakened beyond recognition. What's happening now is bigger than Trump or even the U.S.-Canada relationship. It's about the beginning of a broader global shift. China, Russia, India, and the BRICS countries have been pushing for a world that doesn't revolve around Washington. Now they have an example, Canada, of a Western ally choosing to stand apart from the US system. This may embolden others. Countries like Brazil, South Africa, and even France have already expressed interest in alternatives to the dollar. If these efforts succeed, America's ability to sanction, influence, and control global trade diminishes dramatically. What's ironic is that Trump believed his aggressive stance would make America stronger. He thought tariffs would bring back factories, crush foreign competition, and boost patriotism. But instead, they've triggered a backlash that even allies can't stomach. And now, with the 2024 election approaching, Trump is caught in a dangerous place. If his strategy continues to backfire, not only could it damage his political standing, it could damage America's global position for years. Leaders like Carney are playing chess while Trump plays poker. And when the stakes are this high, bluffing won't cut it. Canada's cancellation of the $19 billion fighter jet deal is more than a policy move, it's a symbol of changing times. It shows that economic loyalty can't be assumed, and that respect must be earned, not demanded. As Carney leads a new global conversation about fair trade, sustainable finance, and economic independence, the US finds itself more isolated than ever before. This isn't just about one broken deal. It's about an entire shift in how the world views America. And unless US leadership changes course, it may soon find itself watching from the sidelines as former allies forge new paths forward, without it. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the truth behind these historic shifts. The world is changing fast, and we'll be right here to unpack what really matters.